Hello, this is Mayayo speaking with a new review for Trailrunningspain.com in English and carrerasdemontana.com in Spanish. These are the brand new Brooks Caldera, the new addition to the Brooks trail running family. You remember the classic Cascadia saga, the Pure Grit, which is on its 12, Pure Grit, which is on its 5, Adrenaline, it's way beyond. Now we've got this Caldera, which basically wants us to run more naturally and in a completely different way than the Cascadia. It's key numbers, it's a pricing of around $140, €140, depending on where you purchase. It's a light shoe, 290 grams, and as I said, it's got a slim drop, let's say 4 millimeters, but it has the widest cushioning among the Brooks trail running family. We've got 21 millimeters up here, below your toes, and 25. So far more, for example, than the Cascadia, which only has 17 here. So it's 17 versus 21. As for the width of the sole, which also is very important if you're considering stability, not only the rigidness, it's let's say middle of the pack. It's 11.3 centimeters up here, slightly wider than Cascadia, and 8.5 here centimeters, basically slightly narrower than Cascadia. Just for you to get a grip on it. Now, what they have tried to deliver is a smooth running shoe that nevertheless is reliable enough to take on slightly tricky terrain. Of course, it's not as reliable as the Cascadia when considering technical terrain. We'll later take them one-on-one, so you see. But as you see, we've got a multi-pad here up the sole, with the Mayayo DNA, traditional, and the first feeling that you get is that it's it rebounds naturally and easily, very responsive shoe, versus with other like the Cascadia, you've got a more of a solid, step. This is a real bouncer. It just comes back as soon as you hit the ground. It demands, taking off again. If I were to sum up, it's Biomogo DNA, midsole and cushioning. It does have some protective midsole, although it's not a solid ballistic seal than we've seen in other shoes, but it's all right. New thing here, the integrated Gator tab. You guys at Ultra will sure this will remind you of some innovations, but it's cool to have it here. It's friendly, helpful, and it does work, so why not use it? It's the same as with the 7th eyelet. It's up here, and it does work nicely. As you see, it helps that you have an extra, so when you want to wrap your ankle more securely for technical terrain or to prevent slipping and getting black toenails, that 7th eyelet really comes and delivers. Other points, well, it's got a double mesh upper. Now this may be an issue because, as you see, you've got very interesting reinforcements as for the wrapping. So you've got a firm wrapping that allows you to take on technical terrain, and feel confident when you step. But on the other hand, of course, as you see here, you've even got thick rubber itself. As you see, it's not textile, this is rubber. So obviously it will not transpire as easily in those parts, so it will be up to the toe box, to allow breathability. Nevertheless, it's a very interesting shoe made for all kind of weather, and still probably if this rugged outsole is to perform, then we will probably get a wonderful shoe, probably good for everything, or just about everything. If it does not perform on the level of other specialists, most noted Vibram, then you may have a handicap. Let me show you two of its main rivals. One, its sister, of course, the Cascadia. As I said, this is Cascadia 12. And as you see, it's got nothing to do. Cascadia is far heavier, 350. It's got a far larger drop. It's 10 millimeters. And it's got a far more aggressive outsole, and also protection here of a ballistic rock seal. So as I said, Cascadia is supposed to take on muddier courses, trickier courses, rockier, and whereas places such as Western States, Leadville 100 miles, stuff like that, are probably a place where you would find right at home with this new Caldera, natural drop, easygoing, bouncer, but still, reliable enough and sturdy enough to take on Hope Pass or those key, let's say, a bit more mountaineering sections. The other option, obviously, funny enough, is the revamping by New Balance of the Euro. This is the new Euro, fresh foam Euro for 2017. And as I said, if the main weak point of Caldera is the unknown quantity of its the performance for its sole, with the vibrant Mega Grip sole that comes with the Euro, we've got a winner for sure. Funny enough, their numbers are strikingly similar. It's a 4 millimeters drop, 290 grams, 300 grams, 11 centimeters, 9 centimeters, 11.3, 8.5, 8.6. So as you see, they are very similar in terms of geometry, very similar in terms of their concept. One for all shoe that allows good technical runners that will enjoy the 4 millimeter drop, to stay closer to the ground and therefore gain extra stability. The main advantage for Caldera, well, obviously that nice wrapping, that it's got around, and sturdier protections. The main advantage for the Euro 2 was obviously the Vibrant Mega Grip sole, and for those of you who are familiar with fresh foam, and enjoy the kind of firm but reliable cushioning that it provides, then of course stay with it. Now, just to finish off, let me remind you of the key sanctions. New Brooks Caldera for 2017, the most cushioned trail running shoe from Brooks, with up to 21 millimeters up here and 25 at the back for a 4 millimeter drop, with a middle of the ground width for the sole that provides, let's say, mid stability. That is 11.3 up here at front and 8.5 at the back, with special reinforcement to get your feet wrapped, with a traditional flat lacing, versus the kind of sausage lacing that you can see at Leadville, for example, or other, or the tubular lacing that you've got at Cascadia. And we will submit it to our usual 200-300 test, and then publish the conclusions for you at Trailrunningspain.com in English and carrerasdemontana.com in Spanish. And meanwhile, see you out at the trails. Thanks, bye.